Welcome back, nerds. Fino here with a guide for Nanmei Yumihari 8 Dog Chronicles. The core of this event is pretty simple. You collect dog warrior points to progress, do free quests, buy copies of Heartbreaker, and use them to increase your point gain. Pretty simple, right? Where things get a bit more interesting is that as you go through the event, you gain access to dog warriors that you can send on expeditions to collect points and materials. This works a bit like the harvest from Yamataikoku, minus the building stuff. You get more dogs to send out as the event progresses, so starting early has a fair number of benefits. Expeditions cost items to start, but you get these refunded on completion, and to my understanding, any ongoing expeditions will continue even after the event ends, so make sure to send out everyone on the last day. Materials include reverse scales, scarabs of wisdom, mysterious divine wine, flaming oni lantern plants, seeds of Yggdrasil, refined magatama, eternal ice, giant's rings, arrowheads of malice, divine leyline spiritrons, fool's chains, mystic spinal fluid, and stakes of wailing night. Pretty desirable stuff across the board. You can also get QP and embers, but I'd consider those a low priority. The various dogs have different compatibility with the expeditions, so mix and match. A good pair will make the expedition go faster. I'll link the wiki's compatibility chart in case the event doesn't make it clear. For the record, I couldn't read shit when I was playing this event's original JP run, so I just guessed back then. You've got some notable prizes from the point ladder. Aimless Blade of Love grants Raiko's bonus damage to its equipped card, Anti-Demonic, and Anti-Heaven/Earth Servant. Sunflower Paintbrush is notable for applying a curse to its user, something very obviously tailored towards Van Gogh. There are also event damage and bond bonuses. Every archer gets a bonus, but it's the lowest tier bonus for everyone except Tametomo, so if you're trying to bond max, keep that in mind. The 90+ node is a mixed 3-1-1 caster node with a single berserker in the middle. I'd recommend just using a buster team to avoid all the hassle. Otherwise, you can initiate the run with Habitrot to shave off a wave and then deal with the remaining 2 enemies as you see fit. Now we come to the challenge quest. This pits you against Hokusai and Bakin, who both have 3 bars. The main gimmick of this fight is that, every time they hit you, Hokusai and Bakin will apply a card type resistance debuff. Quick for Bakin, Art for Hokusai. You can remove these stacks one at a time by attacking, or cleansing them through other means. Once your team accumulates 7 stacks of either debuff, they'll be charmed for a turn before the stacks are removed. Full disclosure, I didn't encounter this mechanic in my runs, so I can't 100% confirm it works this way. Usually my team starts losing members before I get anywhere near 7 stacks. There are a lot of little effects flying around, so let's get a handle on those. At the start of the fight, Bakin gains 4 hits of evasion, reduces your crit chance for 3 turns, but also nerfs Hokusai's art performance for that same duration. Hokusai has permanent debuff immunity. She starts with 3 turn effects, 50% defense for herself, NP gain reduction for you, and she nerfs Bakin's crit chance. These are all boxed effects, so you'll have to let them run their course. On first break, Bakin gives herself crit damage while reducing your defense and applies a stack to your frontline. Hokusai gains a meaty attack buff and a 3-hit evade, while also applying a stack across the board. These effects are removable, so if you have any buff purging command codes, this ain't a bad fight to use them. On second break, Bakin sucks a bunch of your stars, purges your most recent defensive buff, gives herself crit chance, and applies an extra stack with each attack. Hokusai sucks 50% charge from each frontliner and gains a full meter for herself. She also gains a turn of NP damage and starts applying an extra stack on hit. Between the buff purge, charge vein, and Hokusai's NP, the final phase change can be a real killer. But you should have a very powerful attacker at your disposal for this fight. Taisui Xingjun is well equipped. Even though his curses won't work on Hokusai, he still has his alter ego class to give him an edge against both enemies. That and his second skill grants purge resistance, so you can keep him healthy going into phase 3. You will still need something to deal with the evades. I'd recommend a Calamity Jane swap, since the damage check is fairly tight for an out-of-the-box Taisui. This will let you run a much more aggressive craft essence like Black Rail. Hokusai and Bakin also have start of turn effects depending on what bar they're on, so if you see anything weird going on, it's probably related to that. During phase 1, Hokusai and Bakin buff themselves while removing buffs from each other, so it kinda evens out. Phase 2 is when things start to get ugly with them throwing out offensive buffs, and in phase 3 they turn up the heat big time. Bakin gains accelerated charge, raises Hokusai's attack, and reduces your team's defense. Hokusai raises her own defense while buffing Bakin's crit damage. She also drains your charge by a small amount, which can stop you from maintaining your push. So if you can swing it, keep Waver or another charger like Oberon in your backline to get you over the threshold. With that said, like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more, and come to my twitch.tv/Finotaisen where I stream every week, 3 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday and then Friday through Sunday. I'll be finishing up Trauma on Friday and rolling for Bakin on Sunday. If you're interested in that, stop on by for a good time. See you there.